Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Scarbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. So I got a question from one of my watchers to take a look at the election for the 11th District of Ohio, where Nina Turner, that's Massachusetts, for the open seat. The Democrat that was previously there was, I think her name is Marcia. Her first name is Marcia, but the head of urban housing and urban development. And so the seat is open, and this is a special election, which I believe is going to happen on August 3rd. It might be the 2nd or the 3rd. And one of my watchers wanted to know, because Nina Turner is a progressive, and it seems that prevent her from winning and they're supporting the other Democrat who's more in alignment with the sort of money, the donor, so the donor class of the Democratic Party. So they wanted me to take a look at it. So I will. I personally love Nina Turner. And what I've done, or what I Numerology and Kabbalah video, that was back before Zoom. So I did it on like a big piece of paper. So it's great information. I listen to it. You know, I've re-listened to sometimes I listen to my own stuff. It's great. The camera stuff is not good, but the information is great. So I will put a link down below, and I also will look at maybe a little bit of her chart. We do not have an accurate birth time, but we can still get some, we can glean some stuff from. Just do the card reading outright. I'm using the Illuminati deck, and we'll see, will Nina Turner win the 11th district? What's ahead for Nina Turner? What's ahead for Nina Turner? Will she win? All right, so let's just ask the question. I was going to chat, but let's just get down to business. Okay, so the immediate environment for Nina is the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups. Is some I think that this has caused her to lose some support in some circles, but she still has support. She just has to turn around and look at it. So there's some sorrow associated with this, some sadness. Let's see what's crossing it. Yeah, money, the Ace of Pentacles. So this is big money trying to take her down. And so she has lost some support through that, but she still has support because those 2 cups are still behind her. Let's see what's at the root. Yeah, so she doesn't have much power, or she, I don't say much power. She had to sort of look at this situation from a different perspective, gain knowledge. There's actions that she might want to take that she can't really pass. You know, money is still pretty, I mean, politics might as well be the same word. And she's somebody who wants to take money out of politics. So she's a real threat to who is already in there, right? So she's kind of up there, like hanging from the tree agency, but she has an ability to learn from the situation. Now, that doesn't mean she won't win. It just means that that's the position that she's in. In the past, we have the Hermit in the past. This I sort of see as, actually, I see this as Bernie Sanders. You know, you know, spending time with the great sage that Bernie Sanders is, the great healer that Bernie Sanders is. And I think that, you know, he saw something in her that he saw the spark in her. And she needed she was a state senator before she got involved with Bernie. So she had some, she had, you know, she had political experience, but not on a national level. It was more on a state level. So I think that in the past, the Hermit card really is what she learned from the master in that case. Let's see what's in the sky. We have the King of Pentacles. We have the King of Pentacles. I'm going to leave that exactly what that means. It could very well be one of the people who is working against her is Jim Clyburn. And Jim Clyburn is the, I think, South Carolina senator, or is he House? I don't know. That's terrible. I should know that. That actually won he delivered South Carolina for Biden, and that's why Biden won. And ostensibly, Bernie lost. Although Bernie, of course, is doing his thing in the Biden administration and will continue to work. He always said, it's not about me, it's us. It was always about the movement for Bernie. And so the movement is inundating, and progressivism is the wave of the future. And we have a whole new generation of kids who understand that and understand the need that we need to take care of one another, that we are our brothers and sisters keeper, and that we're the keeper of the earth, right? So that's all going to change. But as far as for Nina at this time, that King of Pentacles could be Clyburn, because he does wield a lot of power. He wields a lot of power in the Democratic, and I don't know what sign he is. I should check that. In the Democratic power structure, and then of course in the Black community. So up ahead for her, they are going to pull out all the stops. Nothing is being done. So she has a really difficult road ahead of her, a really difficult road ahead of her. How it seems outside, she's seen as Princess of Wands. She's seen as somewhat of a firebrand. She is a Sagittarius, and this is a Sagittarius card. She is speaking the truth. She is speaking truth to power, and that's how she's seen. So that's actually good for her. Maybe not for this particular election cycle, but as a firebrand for the progressive movement, absolutely. Her domestic situation, she has the Victory card. She will be successful at home. Now that could be, because this is for representation of Ohio, that's very good. Let's continue. Hopes and fears. Well, this is the hope. She's concerned that they're going to try to destroy her. Of course, even if that happens, that is the current iteration of Nina Turner. If you look behind there is the sun is rising. So this is just the end of one particular point. However, it is hope and fear. So it's not necessarily, it doesn't, it's sort of what's in the eye, and perhaps so as I was just pulling, the outcome card, my internet dropped. Sorry. Outcome, the Queen of Pentacles. Ah, she could win, folks. She could win. And the King of Pentacles, who I think is Clyburn, is going to have an equal. Oops, sorry. An equal. Ah, very interesting. Let's see if we can pick a major arcana. The major arcana comes. The Lovers. I personally think from these cards that despite their best efforts and all their shenanigans, that she could win. That's what I think. So I think she's still going to win. We'll see. If by chance she doesn't this time, this is not the end of Nina Turner. Nina Turner is going nowhere. She is going nowhere. And that'll be better for all of us. Okay, so that's the card reading. Now let's take a look at her chart and some numerology around Nina. So let's look, I think I will look at her chart first. So let me share her chart with you. Now, I do not have her accurate birth time. So we do not know her ascendant. We don't know the houses. Her moon is not necessarily going to be accurate. If she's born at noon or afternoon, then her moon is in Pisces. If she was born early in the morning, she could have a moon in Aquarius. I would say either one suits her. Either one suits her. But let's take a look at the things that aren't going to change in her chart. This is a noontime chart. Sometimes when you do a chart for a political figure or somebody who's in the public eye, it doesn't have to necessarily be in politics. It could just be a famous person, somebody you know about, and you don't have an accurate chart. If you do a noontime chart, it is considered accurate to how they are seen in the world. So as we do that, of course, the sun is going to be right at the top of the chart somewhere, usually in the 10th or the 9th house. And in this case, we have her sun in Sagittarius. So sun in Sagittarius is somebody who is seeking the truth. This is the truth warrior. This is the person who can bluntly say, and she also has Mercury in Sag, so this is not somebody who's going to hold back in any way, shape, or form what she sees. She's going to call it as she sees it. Now, when we look at her numerology, you're going to see that she calls it as we see it because she's a double one. She has both a soul vibration and a outer personality vibration as a one. So what you see is what you get with Nina Turner. We also see that she was born in 1967, which was a very tumultuous time. We had the Pluto-Uranus conjunction at that time, right? It was new phase. Pluto and Uranus had already made their 3 conjunctions to start that synodic cycle. And those conjunctions occurred in 65 and 66. So she was born in 67. So this is the latter, this is like that whole evolutionary shift that we went through in the 60s. She's on the new side phase of it, which means that she is going to be the person who, or these people born at this time will be the person who move us forward into a new world post Uranus and Pluto making that conjunction in Virgo. She also, smack dab in the middle of that, she has Pallas Athena in Virgo. Now, first of all, Virgo, when I say Nina Turner's not going anywhere, that's the Virgo, right? That's the Virgo. Virgos do not give up, do not give up. But Pallas Athena is the goddess of social justice, and it's sandwiched between Pluto and Uranus. It's pretty much at the midpoint of Pluto and Uranus. So she will be a warrior for social justice, and she will work hard and hard and hard, and she won't stop. Virgos, as you know, we don't give up. And I can say that because I have Virgo, Pluto, and I have Mars in Virgo. So I know there's a relentlessness about that, that combination. If we look at her nodal picture, we can see that she has a north node in Aries and she has her south node in Libra. Now, when you have your north node in Aries, you have come in to strike out on your own. Aries is a cardinal sign. It's the first sign. It's a fire sign. It's the sign of the warrior. It is ruled by the planet Mars. So we look to her Mars to see how she might express this north node, this point of destiny. Well, has she expressed it? She expressed it with a Mars in Aquarius. Mars in Aquarius. Mars in Aquarius is somebody who takes action for the collective. In fact, in this noontime chart, her ascendant is Aquarius. Now, while she may not have an Aquarius ascendant in her natal chart, because we don't have her accurate birth time, she would be seen by people as a revolutionary. She has a very revolutionary chart. She also has a yod in her chart, and the yod in her chart is between Mars and Jupiter and Saturn and Jupiter. Now, Mars in Aquarius is that action for the collective, right? Saturn in Aries is about new structures. In conjunct Jupiter in Virgo, what adjustments do we need to make in our perspective, Jupiter? And so this is her yod. Now, yods are pretty faded. I actually have a yod in my chart, and it goes to Jupiter as well, right? So there is this, for me, how it's been for me is I have had periods where I've had to, like, I believed something, but though my beliefs have been shifted and changed through experience in my case and learning in my case, I actually have Mars and Mercury here in my yod, where she has Mars and Saturn. Now, the Mars-Saturn sextile, which is pretty tight, this is a very tight yod, is a sextile, is a Aquarius side sextile. So this is her Mars and her Saturn. She is expressing her energy based on her experience and knowing. This is a pure progressive right here. This sextile between Mars and Saturn is a progressive side sextile. It's utilizing what you know to make the adjustments necessary in our perspective to fix what's broken. Very, very powerful. Now, she may very well have her moon opposite Jupiter. We don't know. But certainly, as we see her, we see that the driving force for her is compassion in this chart. Okay, that's how she's seen. The other interesting thing, Eris at 10 degrees, 58 minutes, which that's right around the degrees that Eris was in the 60s. Eris was very, very slowly. But at this point, Eris is at about 25 degrees, 24 degrees. So she has Eris on her north node. Eris is a revolutionary energy. Eris isn't going to take crap from anybody, not Jim Clyburn or anybody. Okay. And remember, we have the Pluto return of the United States, and the Pluto of the United States is at 27 degrees, 28 degrees of Capricorn. So it would sit right about here in this chart anyway, but it squares her nodes. So she has a significant, she has a significant place in the revealing and healing of the soul of America. And of course, as a Black woman, and I believe that she is descended from slaves, unlike Barack Obama, who was not. And of course, she's coming from a very powerfully feminine power, goddess-powered energy. You know, she is a force to be reckoned with. She is a force to be reckoned with. And while I do think she's going to win, and oh my God, can you imagine Nina Turner, AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ayanna Presley, Ilhan Omar, and Cory Booker in the house all together? The girls are in the house. The girls are in the house. Now that's a pajama party I would love to go to. Sorry, guys, I get excited. All right, so now let's look at, I haven't looked at this yet, so we'll take a look. We'll look at August 6th, August 3rd, which I believe is the election. So just give me a moment here and I will do an August 3rd thing here. August 3rd. 21, we'll say noon. Well, actually, we shouldn't say noon. Let's say 8 p.m. because that's probably when the polls close. And we'll leave it at Cleveland because it is, that's where, you know, people are going to be voting in her district. Okay, so let's take a look at the chart as that election day sits on her chart. All right, 1 second here, guys. Just got to get all the way down here. Nina and election. Okay. So, as I said, we don't know what her moon was in, but she does. Her moon is going to be anywhere from, it usually goes 12 degrees. So, moves 12 degrees in a day, so this is the middle of the day, so 12. So she could have the moon at like 20 of Aquarius, or she could have the moon at 13 of Pisces, something like that. That's very rough. Don't check my math. But you have Jupiter there on her moon, which is good. On her Jupiter, I like that. The goddess of social justice, Pallas Athena, on her Chiron. Now that could be, if she loses, that could be a wound for her, right? It could be a wound. or an injustice. It could be an injustice, or oftentimes with Chiron, we're dealing with the healing of the wound, the healing of the wound. So let's see if there's anything else here that pops out at me. The sun at 11. What is, oh, well, the sun is trining, Mercury is trining her sun, Chiron. So she has Chiron, Mercury, and the sun is a grand trine there with her sun. And Venus, close conjunction to Pluto. That could be feminine power. There is a Sun-Saturn opposition around that time. So that's not necessarily negative, but it does bring awareness around Aquarius Leo, which is about love of self and love of others. So that whole humanitarian sort of Aquarian energy there. And what I want to see what Uranus is doing to her chart. So she has it in conjunct to Uranus of her sun. This requires some adjustments on her part. And let me just see Uranus. I just want to see what else is going on here in her chart. All right. So this isn't necessarily negative. It's to me, and of course, because we don't have an accurate birth time, it's hard to discern transits. I can only go by what the planets are doing with the planets at that time. But as I said, she has a good chance of winning. If she does not win, she's not going anywhere. They're not getting rid of Nina Turner, ever. This is not a woman who gives up. This is not a woman who gives up. Okay, so the next thing I want to look at is, I want to just go over, now I've put the thing down below for the Astro Kabbalah of Nina Turner, the Kabbalah numerology of Nina Turner in the descriptor. Check it out. It's worth checking out if you haven't seen it already and if you're interested in Nina. But I'm going to just look a little bit at her numbers too and see what numbers are showing up for her. So just give me a moment and I will bring that up. Okay, so this is her numerology, and I'm not going to go too far into this because I did a really good job on the Kabbalah numerology for her. But there are a couple of things that I do want to point out. Nina Turner on her last birthday turned 53 years old. Okay, this is your divine triangle here. This is her youth square here. Your youth square is pretty much all the karma that you weren't quite done with in your last life. You come in that youth square with those energies. And she had a 4. She has a 4 here. There's 49-4. 49-4 is Pisces vibration. It's the 9 of Cups. 4 is about crisis. It's also about boundaries, and it's Pisces. So there could have been issues around boundaries as a child. 4 is a very hard worker, so she had to work very hard as a child, or as somebody who's young, a child and then younger. And she worked from when she was young, and she was the oldest of 8 children, and she would give her whole salary. I think she worked at McDonald's. It was one of her first jobs. She would give her whole salary to her mother, right, to support the family. Very Aquarius, supporting the collective. So she's kind of wired like that. But this can also be somebody who was wounded through either a lack of boundaries or somebody, stepping over the line with her. And because the 49-4 is located on the tree of life in Yesod, um, which is energetically your sacral chakra, very often there can be some issues of inappropriate sexual energy down there. And of course, as I said in my other video, she has done a lot of work for rape victims and children of rape to support them. Her history, her political history, sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Reflects that possible experience for her. The next 27 years, from age 27 to age 54, which she will turn at the end of this year, is her power square. And this is also a 4. This is a 31-4. This is in Gabura. Gabura is associated with the planet Mars, and she has Mars in Aquarius. This 31-4 is the spiritual warrior. So she has, in order to manage whatever it is that she experienced in her first 27 years of life, she's building her power by being a warrior. She also, from 36 to 45, this baseline here pretty much is what the whole thing sits upon. And so that really is a powerful place. And that is a 14-5, which is the temperance card. So it's walking the straight and narrow. When you have the temperance card as a important part of your numerological picture, which she does because she only has a first name. And so Nina, she's done with her first name by the time she's 36. She does Nina again from 36 to 72. And then at 72, she goes back to that N. So she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 opportunities for that 14-5 vibration, which is the path of the mystic. It is the path that connects our lower and higher self, our sacral, to our heart, right? And so this is a very powerful woman, and she is a warrior. Now she's on the last bit of this 9 line, which is the Hermit. Remember, she got the Hermit in the past, right? I said it's a Bernie Sanders card. But it could also be her own. The 9 is a healing journey. The 9 is a healing journey. And then at 54, she moves on to another 14-5 line. So as I said, this woman is not going anywhere. And this vibration, her wisdom square, which she hasn't even touched yet, but she's getting there, is the Queen of Swords. Powerful, powerful woman. Now, in 2020, she moved into a 5 vibration, a 23-5. The 23-5 is the King of Wands in the tarot. Somebody who takes agency or rules based on what they believe, what inspires them. So here she is making a run for it, so to speak. Now, from December to April, she was in a hanged man period, right? We saw that hanged man underneath her. But April 7th to August 7th, and this is the time when the election is happening, she moves into a 10-1 vibration. That is the Wheel of Fortune. And then she goes into a 14-5 until her birthday. And then on her birthday, she moves into this 14-5 vibration. And then she moves into, in 2021, on her birthday, a 24-6, which is the Queen of Wands. So she's poised for some, I think, a sort of step up into a more prominent leadership role, So even her numerology indicates that this is a pivotal time where she can really make her move. And if by chance it doesn't work out, she's not going anywhere. So they're not going to necessarily get rid of her. So we will see how she does. So hopefully you gleaned something from that. I certainly did. Um, I think she has a really good chance of winning, despite the fact what's happening. But the more people that are aware that, I mean, I think that's going to get uncovered as well. I think all that's going to get uncovered. It's not just the swamp of the Republicans, which is pretty obvious, and they're unapologetic about how swampy they are. But the Democrats also have their own swamp, and they're much more subtle. But well, all of that is going to get exposed. So I say Nina Turner wins. So if you want to see the progressive change and the Medicare for all and all the things that she stands for, I would say send her good energy and visualize her winning. And I think she has a good chance. So we'll see what happens. Watch this space, as they say. All right. I hope you enjoyed that. Have a great day. Like and subscribe. And if you like this kind of work, if you like the kind of work I do and you'd like a reading, there are links below where you can contact me and we can do one of these on you. You don't have to be a spiritual warrior politician to have your chart done. All right, guys. Much love. Namaste.